Welcome to Model Horse Tack School. Today we're going to make a standard leather girth. And I'm making this as a standalone how-to because this leather girth is one used in any Western style saddle, Western Pleasure, Western Working, Pony Express. I mean, all of those uses this. It's either this or it's going to be a web style. So if you know how to make a web style, or you can check out my video on how to make a web style girth, or you can do this one, which is a little bit easier. Okay. What you do is you're going to take a pen, and this is long, probably longer than I need it to be, but it's what I have. It has to be at least 1 inch to make an eye out of. I like the hardness of the metal in this for eyes, so that's why I recommend using it, because then it would be able to hold up to the tension of the girth. You obviously can use any wire that you'd like. I just find that using a pin, a straight pin, is a little better. So, as you see there, I made the eye, put it onto the loop. These are either 9 or 10 millimeter jump rings. I do recommend that after you get this cut, the tip of it cut, that you check for a sharp point, because my cutters leave a sharp point. I think all cutters do. You want to blunt that. I have bled so many times by going like this and accidentally scraping myself when tacking up a horse. So I like to try and get rid of the sharp with, this is a diamond style file. There's also the ones with the ridges on it. I find this doesn't stick to the sharp stuff as badly. Okay, so we'll go ahead and make our second one. These are just regular round pliers you find for beading for the jewelry. I guess I could have made that smaller. So now in the case of this, I don't bother to solder this closed. I just want to make sure it's closed, and so this is closed really tightly, and that's fine. So for the length for the eye, you need it to extend past. So if you see how this works, the closure's on the back side, this is the front side. I pull it towards the front, and I'm going to cut it, I guess it's about a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch over. And I do that into a cloth because I have found these on the carpet, and they are the worst splinters you've ever gotten in your foot. So I just don't recommend letting them fly anywhere. And the vacuum picks them up, and you will hear it, and I can't imagine that's good for the vacuum. Okay, that's that. All right, we'll take our first one, and I've already cut slits in here per the pattern. And these patterns come with all of mine. I mean, I just named them all. Western Pleasure, Western Working, and Pony Express. And I think even the Australian stock saddle uses this as an option. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our eye in there. Make sure your eye is facing forward, out. Here's the right side. Make sure right side. You flip it over, pull the leather through, and what you want to do is pull it so the eye sits in that slot like that. Okay, you won't see it on this side, but you'll see the eye is firmly seated into that slot. It helps to take care of some of the bulk. We'll go ahead and glue that shut. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1000. I'm going to go ahead and do the same to the other side. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we need to make our keepers. Now, I've skived these. I also skived my fold over. You should always skive the fold over area of anything. But I went ahead and skived these to make them thinner. So what we're going to do is they're just keepers for the billets. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. And you can see how very, very quickly we pile up the layers. So that's why skiving is so important. If I hadn't skived the fold over, and if I hadn't skived these, you can imagine how thick that would be, because they would be that thick instead of that thick. You can see that. All right, let that set. Now I don't want them too tight, so usually I'll have a billet, sample billet that I can use to make sure that I don't roll these too tight. Okay, so in this case it's a double of this. And sometimes you'll want to make it specifically for what you're holding, what you're keeping in place. So we can put that there just so I know what the depth is, and then I'll swing it around. I'll go ahead and, well, that wasn't supposed to come off of there. And then I'll go ahead and glue both sides down. Don't make it too tight or it's going to be really hard to tack up. And just because it was misbehaving, I'm going to go ahead and put a clamp on there to hold it. But of course I need this for the other side, so we'll pull that out first and try not to let it get crooked. Okay, something that's optional is this D connector here. And you can determine how many you need, whether you have a rear cinch, then you'll need two. You'll need one on either side, or if it's just a breast collar, one in the front. Now this one here is for Pony Express saddle. It doesn't need any. But making the D strap is pretty simple. You get a piece of leather lace and you get your Ds. Now this one here was made out of an oval. These are actual Ds. And it's really pretty simple to make your strap. It's just a fold over and glue, and then go ahead and put your other D on the other side. So I don't really need this strap, but I'm trying to show you how it's done without. So, come on. So then you would do the other one, and you would do this the thickness of, so you would do the fold over, find center by doing, you know, folding it in half, that's center. So you would glue it here and then make sure that both of them hang over, and then you would go ahead and fold over and glue. Okay, but because this is for Pony Express, I don't need any, so I'm not gonna waste the hardware. All right, so now that we've got our keepers on, I can do the, this is it's not sure whether it's a suede or a skiver. It's thin like skiver, but it feels like suede, but it has an unfinished side, so I'm just gonna call it skiver, but it could be suede. But we'll go ahead and whatever you choose for your lining, we're gonna, the lining is from keeper to keeper. Now if you want, you can have it go that far, but I usually cut it off And if you do it correctly, shouldn't really be able to see the lining. But if for whatever reason your lining ends up larger, you can trim it. And you can leave it without the edge coating if you want it to look like it's a, you know, a furry type of covering, you know, like a fleece or something, so you don't really have to edge coat it. But if you don't want to call attention to it, then you can go ahead and give it a quick edge coat. And as you can tell, my preference is I don't want to call attention to it. It's not that important. And it wouldn't be on a historical saddle anyways. They weren't that fanatical about comfort for the horse, I don't think. I haven't seen a lot of tack that shows they had, you know, science of the happy horse like we do now. Okay, so that is your completed standard leather cinch. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, and you have a good one. Bye-bye.